Hey guys, and welcome to this video. My name is Emma, and what I do is I help people who know what their purpose is, know what their passion is, to release the inner blocks, the fears, all the things that leave them feeling stuck and unable to step into their purpose and fully own and rock their purpose and take aligned, committed, and defined action to create the life that they want. So what I'm going to talk to you in this video is I'm going to talk to you about what is this fear that so many of us have that holds us back from doing the things that we want to do in life, because we're worried about what others are going to think. What are they going to say? And it could be your mother, your father, your granny, your friends, and it could even be people that you don't really know. You can worry about, what are people going to think of me if I step out and start doing this thing? What are they going to say? And this is something that we find is a really major block. People are worried about what other people are going to say, the neighbors, the friends. The people are really worried about being judged. So in this video I'm going to talk about what it is, and I'm going to give you 5 tools, 5 tips to release that fear so that you can fully do what you want in your life rather than worrying all the time about what other people are going to say and what other people are going to think. So first of all, caring what other people think. It's called, when it's really bad, it can be kind of codependency. You kind of live your life worrying about for other people. And other people, they call you selfish when you do what they don't want you to do quite often. So they call you selfish because you're not doing what they want to do. So maybe better just to look after yourself and be a little bit selfish sometimes. So no matter what you do in this life, people are going to judge you. If you go and get a job in a shop, or go and get, follow a normal career path, people are always going to be judging you. You step into a room, you walk through a room, people are going to be judging you. That's what so many people do. They're always looking at you and deciding and judging you on some level. So it's kind of something that we need to embrace. But when we are affected by other people's judgment, it's not so much about them as it is about you. It means that you have some insecurity within yourself, that you're not allowing yourself to fully be yourself. That you're allowing other people's judgments and concerns and nosiness to stop you from doing what it is that you want in your life. So you got to look after yourself, and you gotta when you feel the triggers, that when people are judging you, kind of look at that and see what is that fear, what is that underlying fear that's going on. So if you're avoiding criticism in life, you go through life avoiding criticism, basically it's impossible. But if you try to do that, you are going to be a very unfulfilled person. You're very likely to be very unfulfilled because you're going to be living just on behalf of other people. You're not going to be living your own life, you're going to be living for other people. So now here are my top 5 tips for dealing with this fear of self-criticism. Number 1, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen if I don't do the things that I want to do? What's the worst thing that could happen if I don't do this thing that I'm worried my mother's going to judge me for? What's the worst thing that could happen? And think about doing things for yourself rather than doing them for other people. If you're worried about other people, let them do them. You've got to do what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled. If no one is going to hurt, if no one's going to get hurt by you taking that action, why not do it? If it's a risk, why not take that risk if it's just your own, if you're not putting anyone else in danger, it's not a risk to life and limb, if it's a risk worth taking, if there's something really good that you can get out of it. So ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could come out of this, and balance it up. Number 2, think about people when they are dying. What are their major regrets? I can tell you, it's not about the things that they've done that went awry. The major regret that people have when they're dying, it's about people not having done the things that they wanted to do. So Richard Branson said, I'd rather look back on life and say, I can't believe I did that, than wish I had done it. So think about that. People who achieve things in life, they're not afraid to take a risk. They're not afraid to take a risk and do something. You're better off doing something and making a mistake and learning, rather than being too afraid to take action and getting on that because you're worried about what other people are going to think, what other people are going to say. The third tip, is about removing toxic people from your life. So if you have a lot of toxic people around you, if you have a lot of toxic friends, if you're talking about your dreams and saying what you'd love to do, and people are just saying, oh my God, it'll never happen, can't work for you, recognize that often that comes from a place of love, because that person is trying to look out for you. And quite often they think it's not possible. You want to be a singer? Oh my God, you can't make any money doing that. That's their belief. Recognize it's not a fact, because think about all the people that are out there that are making great livings being a singer, doing the things that they love. So it's a possibility, and it can be a possibility for you. So don't listen to the naysayers. And if people are really toxic and they're just spouting negativity in your dreams, pissing on your dreams basically, maybe it's time to distance yourself from those people and not tell them, actually. So if it's your members of your family, if it's maybe, keep your dreams a little bit guarded to yourself. You don't need to tell your mother, your father what you're doing if you know that they're just going to criticize you. They're just going to tell you all the reasons why you can't do that. I've had experiences like that with my family. They've gone on 20-minute rants about why this is a terrible idea, and afterwards I felt so deflated and so awful. And what I should have done is just not said anything, not told them, just kept it to myself. Which brings me to my next point. This point number 4, tip number 4, find trusted people. So find good friends who can be your support, who can support you in your dreams. So people, whether that be some kind of support group, some kind of vision group, and tell them what it is you want to create, and receive that positive feedback for once. You can also create yourself, vision board, create a vision of what it is that you want to create, and tell people who you know are going to give you that positive feedback. Don't tell the people who you know, even before you tell them, that they're going to just give you reasons why you can't do that. Recognize that that's just their belief systems. And finally, tip number 5, this is a really, really good one. Recognize that some people, not everyone is going to like you. Don't want everyone to like you. If everyone likes a person, it means that they're being very small. It can mean that they're not being fully authentic in themselves. So recognize that, and the bigger you become, the more authentic that you allow yourself to be, the more you're going to trigger people who are too afraid to put themselves out there, who are too afraid to be themselves, who are too afraid to step out and do something different. You're going out there and doing that and being authentic is going to make them feel, oh my God, it's going to trigger their own insecurities, and that's why they're going to project that back on you. So recognize that it's not always about you. Also, if you are being big in the world, people are going to criticize you. Recognize no matter what you do in life, people are going to criticize you. Some people aren't going to like you. If you're doing great things in life, think about politicians, famous people, they get the most criticism of all. Why? Because they're putting themselves out there. So the bigger you allow yourself to be, the more criticism you're opening up to. And that's not a bad thing, because that means that you're going to polarize people. Some people are going to like you, some people aren't. And that's okay. Who wants everyone to be liked? Who wants everyone to like them? That's, not everyone is going to resonate with your particular vibe, and that's okay. Just recognize that each their own. Maybe you don't like certain people, and that's cool. You're not going to like everyone. So why does everyone have to like you? So if you're worrying about, oh my God, everyone has to like me, it's going to really, really hold you back from doing the things that you want to do. So my final message to you guys, those are my 5 tips. My final message to you is really this. If you don't want to be criticized, this is what you should do. Do nothing, be nothing, say nothing. That's it. But to grow, to expand in the world, you've got to put yourself out there, and you are going to be criticized. That's part of it. And growing beyond that, and to not be affected by that, and recognizing that a lot of the time it's just other people's insecurity, and dealing with those triggers when they arise. So if somebody says something that hurts you, look inside yourself, find out, why did that hurt you so much? Because there'll be a belief there. There's something that they hit on inside yourself. So take a look, shine the flashlight of consciousness in there, and see what that belief is and see if you can let it go. So guys, I hope this was useful. These 5 tips for overcoming criticism of other people. Know that the worst thing that will happen, just recognize what the worst thing that will happen will be if you do what it is that you want. Number 2, think about the wishes of the dying and the regrets that they have, which is the things that they didn't do. Number 3 is removing the toxic people from your life. And number 4, finding trusted people that you do love, that are going to support you, that are going to be your cheerleaders. And finally, number 5, recognize that not everyone is going to like you, and love yourself enough to put yourself first. So I hope this video was helpful. If you found it helpful, do give me a comment down below. You can also subscribe to my videos on YouTube. Yeah, okay, signing off until next time. Lots of love and light, and just be yourself. Don't worry what others think. Shine your light out into the world and bring that purpose out. That's what we want to see.